Creo Parametric's default constraint type when you assemble a component is automatic, making it faster and easier to position components because you don't have to pre-select specific constraint types. When the automatic option is in use, the system can determine the constraint type to use based on the references you select and the location of the component being placed. For example, if you select this surface of the shaft and this surface of the body, the system will assume you want these surfaces to be coincident. If the surfaces were farther apart before you selected them, however, the system will assume that a distance constraint type should be applied, rather than coincident. When the distance constraint type is used, you can control the position using an offset dimension. If you wanted to control the rotation of the shaft in the hole, just add a third constraint. But because of the shaft's current position, the system is going to assume a coincident constraint between these surfaces. Since you're trying to control the rotational position of the shaft using an angle, select Angle Offset from the drop-down list. To assemble this cover using the automatic option, you will select the center cylindrical surface of each component to generate a coincident constraint. Take a look at the 3D dragger and you can see that the remaining degrees of freedom are translational and rotational about the center axis. To lock down the rotational degree of freedom, you can select these cylindrical surfaces within these two holes, and the system will automatically generate an oriented constraint, which prevents the cover from rotating. If we want to use automatic to finish positioning the cover by making the bottom surface of the cover coincident with the top surface of the body, we first need to move the cover closer to the body, then select the two surfaces to create a coincident constraint. You'll find that automatic usually creates a coincident constraint type, which is the most commonly used constraint, so in the majority of cases it's probably the constraint you want. But if it's not, we've just seen how easy it is to either influence the selection by adjusting the initial location of the component or by changing the constraint type after it's been applied.